whole intro.
This is Steve Downs, the voice of Master Chief, Spartan 117. Welcome to Quality Time, the KO Koala Entertainment Podcast. Anthony and Skylar will take it from here. Master Chief, out.
Hello and welcome to Koalatea Time, the KO Koala Entertainment Podcast. I didn't start my recording, so hold on, let me start my recording and I'll just start there again. Hello and welcome to the KO Koala Entertainment Podcast. I'm Skylar Sokol.
And I am Anthony Nicolosi.
And today, here in episode 40, we're going to be talking about Xbox versus PS5. We just had a big PS5 conference today. We delayed our recording just for the conference because Anthony is a big Sony fanboy, as everyone knows. So now we're here to chat it up.
Yeah, for the record, because some people were telling me that on on Instagram and Twitter, like that they were saying the alternative. They were saying that I was a big Xbox fanboy. I don't have.
That is true. You are a big Xbox.
I'm a big
fanboy.
Halo fanboy.
Right.
Outside of that, I don't really give a fuck. I used to have a PlayStation 1 and 2. The only thing I am fervently against is the design of the old. I can't say for the new PlayStation controllers. God, they fucking suck.
Yeah, I hate those controllers too.
Yeah, outside of that, I have no beef with PlayStation. They just don't have Halo, and I love Halo.
Good to know. Yeah, and for me, if people are wondering, I literally could care less about either one. There's no chance I'll buy a console this generation. I never did. So I just say what I see, and that's it. I just tell it like I see it. And I don't know. We can talk about what we're seeing. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, let's get your hot take. What's the impression? The Sony conference today.
Sony conference, amazing, perfect. I
I
don't think it was as good as their first conference, but I still think it was great. I think the Demon Souls gameplay was amazing. The graphics in that game were unbelievable. Like the lighting in those environments was like pretty mind blowing for me. I liked that. And Harry Potter open world game is kind of very sick and unexpected.
Dude, it looked fucking awesome.
Yeah,
the Harry Potter open world game is potentially the thing I thought was coolest.
I mean, it's so unexpected. That's what was cool. Apparently, Lyric, I said it leaked like a year ago, and then no one ever said anything about it.
I saw rumors about it because I messaged my brother-in-law, him and his wife are huge Harry Potter fans. I was like, guys, fuck, an open world Harry Potter game would be a dope, you know? And yeah, so I don't know what it showed. Definitely hyped me up. Me and my wife are gonna play the fuck out of that thing if it's good, you know.
Yeah.
So. Okay. What about we didn't see the cat game. We didn't see Stray.
I said to Sean, I'm like, the worst part about the conference was no Stray gameplay.
Too bad. I would have. That had a really interesting aesthetic.
That game, like I said before, is Annapurna, the publishing studio, which is my favorite. So I'm so hyped for that. Another big thing, PlayStation Collection for PS Plus. I think we gotta talk about this, right? We've been hyping out, like, all of our conversations so far about this console war have been PlayStation has the exclusives, but Xbox has Game Pass, right? That was the whole thing we've been saying. And now, Microsoft, PlayStation's got some what I would call a Game Pass competitor in a way. Maybe for some people, especially for the PlayStation audience, potentially even better than Game Pass.
Yeah, well, I'm sure. Are those? Sorry, to close out your thoughts. Are those? Would you say that's a good summary of your thoughts on the PlayStation conference so far?
Yeah, I mean,
I'll take it.
I think PlayStation is 2 for 2. Microsoft is 0 for 2.
0 for 2 for you. Yeah. So I'll start with PlayStation Collection. What you're just talking about. In my opinion, that was one of the most interesting things for me personally because I've wanted to go try out these, you know, especially like God of War and Uncharted 4.
For anyone who didn't watch the conference, let me just what this is.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's basically it's like Game Pass. Like if you subscribe to PS Plus, which is the PlayStation like subscription online thing, you get access to like all of the most popular AAA games from the PlayStation 4 era. Basically, you get God of War, you get Last of Us Remastered, you get Uncharted. You get I can't remember. There were so many. Infamous Second Son, Like
Infamous Second Son there, yep.
Like there was just a ton, right? Like all the good games. I don't know, was Spider-Man on there? I don't know if it was.
I don't think so.
I don't know, but anyway, there were a bunch, and it was crazy. That was very surprising to me that was there.
Well, like I said, I do think there's some that are missing that were like, Last of Us Part 2 wasn't there, Horizon Zero Dawn wasn't there, but like I said, God of War and Uncharted 4 are the two games I want to try out the most from the PlayStation 4 era,
right.
and they were in there, so that was what I was looking at. But
Bloodborne is in there, Persona 5 is in there.
Yeah. Again, those not really interesting to me personally, but definitely some people I'm sure they would be.
Yeah.
I think if that's all that's in that collection, Game Pass still totally shits on it with the amount of like third-party content that's in there. But if you're looking to play like me, if you're trying to jump into PlayStation and you're trying to play some of those best exclusives from the last gen, at what I'm going to assume is something around a Game Pass price.
I'm pretty sure it's the exact same, if not less.
Yeah. That's cool, right?
Yeah.
That's a cool option to have there.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. And I think for some people, like, this is like a catered set of very critically acclaimed games. Game Pass is sort of a wild west of random shit, right? Like, you don't know what you're going to get.
I mean, you have a lot of big third-party games
of course there. But like it's much more of like
it just doesn't have the Sony games, like, right. Quite frankly, like
right.
it's had Red Dead, it's had GTA, it's
way cheaper.
Destiny.
Josh says a 12-month subscription of PlayStation Plus is $60, so this is $5 a month,
and that's probably that's what I was gonna say, like at a $9 or at a $10 or $15 price point, it's sort of a ripoff in comparison to Game Pass from the amount of content that Game Pass has.
You get other stuff, though, for PlayStation Plus. It's not just this.
What do you mean, other stuff?
You get free
for the
games.
Xbox audience listening. You get free games, so it's kind of like Xbox Live Games for Gold. Maybe, but like from a Game Pass, again, like Game Pass literally has, even before EA Play, something north of 150 games inside of it. So I still don't think it competes overall with value, unless you're a person who really wants to try those games out. Then this is a grand slam value. I mean, like I said, for me, that's the way I saw this conference. The thing that was the Hogwarts Legacy, which is coming to all consoles, but was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The Ratchet and Clank already has me like wanting to try that out eventually when it comes out. We don't know when that will release. Miles Morales looked great.
I thought Miles Morales not a launch title?
It is not a launch title.
Oh,
and in fact, I have some things to follow up on that one. Coming into that conference, there's Ratchet and Clank. Horizon Forbidden West, I want to say is the name of it. Also looked really great when it was shown. That's not a launch title either. Miles Morales is a launch title. Demon's Souls is a launch title of the games we saw today, the big ones.
Which is crazy. That those, I can't.
Miles Morales looked great. I thought Miles Morales looked fantastic.
It looked like the first Spider-Man game. It looked similar.
I didn't play the first Spider-Man, so like this is what I'm saying. For me, if I were to pull down a PlayStation 5 right now, between the Collection Plus and Miles Morales, I feel like I would have a good amount of stuff to check out, considering I didn't check it out next gen. Now, if you played all that stuff last gen, I still feel both consoles have very little launch content. And it's kind of interesting in that way. Miles Morales, at least, is like a big title there. Now, this is an interesting thing, okay? So after today, after they announced the games, because we've talked about this point that I'm about to say before in the past. After they announced the games, Jim Ryan came out and said that Spider-Man Miles Morales and Horizon Forbidden West are also going to release for the PlayStation 4.
I saw that. That's very interesting. And if you buy them on PS4, you get them on PS5.
So very Xbox style in like the same kind of messaging as Xbox has been doing. And the reason why I'm pointing it out is because before we were talking about like Ratchet and Clank, for example, is a game that cannot exist on old hardware.
Right.
It has to be developed exclusively for the PlayStation 5 hardware. and that the messaging beforehand, they were saying we believe in console generations, blah 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 blah. It seemed like the way they were pitching things is that their first party studios were going to be developing exclusively for the PS5. So I just like the Xbox Series X, developers have been making games for PC, right, for a long time. They understand how to hit different hardware targets. Right. I don't buy that, like, wow, the game's gonna fucking suck because it has to run on the PS4 too. That's not gonna be the case. In fact, you see Miles Morales still looking not PS4able today. You know what I mean?
Definitely
You
did not look like it on that. No,
you're not going to be able to pull off those lighting and at texture details and everything like that. That quality of assets on the PS4.
Yeah, I mean, this reminds me of when Breath of the Wild came out. I don't think a lot of people remember this, but Breath of the Wild came out on Wii U and Switch at the same time. It absolutely did. And it ran like shit on the Wii U, and it looked way worse, but it did come out on both. And I feel like that's sort of the situation we're in here.
Look, in my opinion, I think this is a great consumer thing.
Sure.
Like, I would want to play those games. This is I just think, especially in the current environment, like, that's cool. Like, make those. Horizon Forbidden West is weird because
that's that one's coming out soon.
No, it's so I'm not really sure why. Also, they would even bring it up, but
unless maybe it is coming out sooner than we think. Maybe it's early 2021.
Maybe it's like a spring 2021. Yeah, maybe it is. I'll say that the Demon Souls did look cool. For sure. Yeah. It was already something that looked cool before. I'm not familiar with that series, so it would be something I would check out. There is also the pricing difference. Some of the games for the PS5 are going to be the $70, not the $60 anymore.
Have there been specific games that have been announced?
Yeah, so they had some of those launch titles are in the retail price for those games was listed for the different regions. Some weird stuff, like the UK was actually. So I can't remember if it was Demon Souls maybe, but it was $70 in the United States, $80 in Europe in the
with
UK.
Conversion, you mean?
80 euros. I'm sorry. No, straight up 80 euros. Yes. Not sure what's going on there.
Well,
I'm
was
not sure
that like
if
an
it's a
official
typo
announcement? Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the PlayStation page, blog thing, whatever.
Huh.
So there's some weirdness, and also I don't know if you've kind of been hearing about the last few hours the pre-order situation, but they said pre-orders go live tomorrow, but like all these retailers are like pushing the go live button now.
Yeah, apparently went out a little early on accident.
Yeah, so hard to say. I signed up for a pre-order notice just to see, and I got one on Best Buy, and it was like already gone by the time I like looked at it. So I'm not, kind of weird. Although I will say, if they would have executed it good, I think releasing pre-orders right after that conference would have been a fantastic idea.
Totally.
Capitalize on that hype right away.
Yeah. It looks like NBA 2K21 has also been announced to be $70 on all platforms.
Yeah, and that was the one that kind of kicked this all off. The 2K saying we're going 70. Yeah. That's a whole other conversation I think we'll have to have.
I'm curious what you think about what was I going to say? Now it's gone from my brain.
The God of War tease at the end. That's awesome.
It was a good teaser. Yeah. That was very cool to see. I can't believe it's coming out in 2021. That team must have worked their fucking asses off.
Yeah. I also thought that was pretty early too. But hey, maybe you can delay it now if you need to.
Sure, that's true. Might as well say it's coming in 2021 and then let it go later. Actually, you know what I think is one of the craziest things about this whole console war? Fucking Cyberpunk comes out in between the release of the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X.
Really?
It comes out on November 19th.
Oh, okay.
I bet you when CD Projekt Red delayed Cyberpunk to that date, they were not thinking we're going to be competing with 2 console launches. And what's funny is, honestly, the console launches are probably competing with Cyberpunk, to be honest. That game is probably the most hyped game in recent memory.
So like I wonder, so far it doesn't. Xbox maybe has more of a marketing advantage with what's the fucking word? Goodness gracious, a marketing arrangement with them because they had those custom Xbox One X's. But I was also wondering, you saw Call of Duty show up. It would seem that Call of Duty continues to have some kind of a unique, like at least content exclusivity
exclusive
thing with
alpha on
exclusive
PS4.
alpha.
Right.
Yeah, I would love to know what the COD guys think. I mean, I think they've been like, at least COD Esports has been on the PlayStation, so I think they're probably ready. But man, I don't know. I would be pissed. But anyway, just to say, we'll see what Cyberpunk does on that front. If it does anything more.
Well, it's not coming out on the next gen consoles until 2021. It's been announced that it will release on the next gen consoles, but not till 2021.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's launching on the 2 last gen consoles and on PC, the premier platform for playing Cyberpunk 2021.
So I will say, overall, now that things have landed a little bit, I think the $399 price point for
let's
the
talk about
digital
prices.
PlayStation 5, that's a great price for the PlayStation. Like, if you're thinking, I'm going to get a PlayStation 5, the Series S has kind of stolen its thunder. If you imagine Series S wasn't there, a PS5 would functionally be like $400, and the Xbox would have been $500. So, what I actually, you want to know what I'm thinking?
Well,
dude?
hold on.
This
So
holiday?
people who haven't heard this yet, Series S,
go ahead.
the shitty Xbox, new Xbox, is $300. Series X, the actual spec Xbox, is $500.
$500.
And then the digital edition PlayStation, which has the exact same specs, it's not shittier, is $400. And then the PlayStation with disc drive is $500.
It's $500. Yes.
So
to be clear,
we have
the Series S is not shitty. It is shittier, but it is not shitty.
It's shittier, yes.
It's actually.
Do we
I
know
think,
how much
insane value? Yeah, it's got the RAM bandwidth is less, and I want to say it's like a 10 gigs of RAM instead of 16 on the Series X.
That's trash.
It's meant to run.
Nowadays, we on PC, we go 32 gigs of RAM, my dude.
Yeah, but it's not for you. Like, I'm probably going to get a Series S this holiday.
What were you going to say? You were going to say this holiday, what are you thinking? You're thinking
I'm going to get a Series S because that thing can go up to 120 frames per second, up to 2K. I have an HD monitor for 120 frames per second. It's perfect for me. It's got the SSD. It's got ray tracing. It's got the whole shebang. It's got all of the like kind of new console feature goodness. Just essentially, it can only go up to 2K instead of the full 4K that the Series X can do.
Okay.
So for me, I don't care about 4K on my setup. Series S is fantastic. And on top of that, I pay $15 a month for Game Pass, and I will continue to do so. The Series S is $25 a month, including Game Pass. So basically, for me, it's just, hey, I pay $10 more and I get a Series S.
But Series S is it's digital only, right?
It is digital only.
So it only has a 512 gigabyte SSD.
Yep.
Right?
It does.
That's pretty small. You install COD, that's already 200 gigs. That's half your SSD, my dude.
It is. Yeah, they have expandable storage. Both consoles
is expandable storage? Okay.
Yeah, both consoles have they're dealing with it in a different way. The PlayStation 5 is going to have kind of like an internal, like sort of like a PC, sort of like a gaming PC laptop where you get like
where there's like a slot
cards. Yeah. And you actually have to open the PS5 up to put it in, but the Xbox is like, it looks like a memory card made by Seagate, and you plug it into the back and it gives you another terabyte.
Okay.
So for me, the Series S is fantastic because I'm running the shithole original 2013 release date Xbox, over here. Now I'll say this too. The Series S makes it great for me to also get a PlayStation because it's so affordable that it's easy for me to also pick up a digital PlayStation if I want to. So right now,
you're paying $700 for both consoles, basically.
So,
and you get to play the PlayStation games at the maximum value, and you get to play the Xbox games slightly shittier, but not that bad.
Yeah, I mean, functionally for my setup, unless I upgraded my monitor, I'm not suffering at all. I'm actually like maximizing.
Well, we'll see once we see benchmarks if it's legit, right? I'm skeptical.
I mean, we'll assume we can hit those rates.
Right.
I think it's gonna be fine. 120 frames at HD on that thing. Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
I will be very surprised if the current Xbox games run at a consistent 120 FPS.
Okay.
If the next gen Xbox games
we'll see.
at 120.
And we do still need to see what these things do.
especially with 10 gigs of RAM.
Yeah, no, I think they'll be okay. Then now the what was I going to say? The PlayStation. You said 700. That's what you're saying. So you're going to pay 700 now. I will have paid 700 after 2 years.
Right. Sure.
From now.
Sure.
So, in the meantime, and part of the reason I'm getting a Series S right now is because it is like it's $10 more a month for my Game Pass. That's nothing personally for me, and I can get a basically better Xbox here on the side. And I know that when Halo Infinite comes out, they'll have custom Series X's, and I'm definitely going to buy that.
Okay. You're playing the long game.
Nah, I'm playing the long game.
I got
However, I am my ideal setup for this holiday is a Series S and a PlayStation Digital. I'm not sure if that's going to work out. We'll see because of also I've saying that there's a lower inventory for the all digital version because of different parts. Basically, we'll see if I can snag one. But if I can, that's what I would like to do this holiday, and eventually, probably a Series X next year. So
nice.
That's what I'm thinking to do. I'm thinking to. Like I said, I want to play God of War, Uncharted 4. Miles Morales looks cool, so I think I would try it out. I played a PS2 Spider-Man, I think, way back in the day, and it was a lot of fun. However, I want to fucking so bad play the Final Fantasy VII remake. So that is driving me crazy. That's in my top. Oh, is it top 5? We'll have to do a rating one time. But top 5 games of all time. So I want to play it so bad.
Nice.
All
right.
Yes. That's what I'm thinking to do. I think one thing, another conversation around the value that these two consoles bring. We were talking about it in our chat. You were saying in the chat like, damn, and you said it earlier in this conversation. In a lot of ways, it just seems like Sony just knocked it out of the park. Fantastic first-party exclusives with PlayStation Collection. It's a really accessible way to try some of the best ones out. And you see like a new God of War's coming, a new Horizon Forbidden West is coming, Ratchet & Clank looks cool. So their first-party exclusive content has been good, is now accessible, and then the new stuff is looking good too, right? So you think, right, that they're providing the better overall like quality experience. So
as someone who's only interested in sick games, wanting the highest quality games, right, and playing the highest quality experiences, yes. If that is my only concern here, right? Because I'm not buying either one, so I don't give a shit about how much they cost or anything like that, right? I just care about who is providing the better gaming experience, right?
Right.
I mean, granted, we've talked a lot about the cost and my opinions on that stuff too, but like when it comes down to gaming experiences, I think that Sony is winning so far.
Oh yeah. So I will say that I think that for people with a similar mindset, that's probably the case. The Xbox first party exclusives and Xbox isn't really doing third party content exclusivity. They haven't really recently.
Yep.
I know Phil Spencer doesn't like it. I don't know if that's maybe why they haven't gone after those deals, but I do think they're providing a way better value for the average console kid, who is looking to play Fortnite and Madden kind of a
if you're looking to play those two games, then you just want the cheapest thing possible that'll run them, and then you should buy a PC for $200 and it'll run both of those games just as well, honestly. So
is Madden on PC? Is it?
I actually have no idea. I follow sports games.
You cannot make a $200 PC that's going to play it better than the Series S.
What?
No,
totally. You could make a $200 PC that could run Fortnite at 120 FPS for sure.
Yeah, but those into kits. Your best bet for if you're trying to play those kinds of, especially like that's functionally my brothers. That's like that and FIFA. Those 3 games are the holy trifecta. COD gets in there sometimes too, but at $25 a month. At $25 a month, like I said, I'm surprised Xbox hasn't pushed, and maybe it's because it's a little complicated of messaging, I guess. But like $25 a month. Like when you go to pre-order it, it's like, yeah, do you want to pay $300 or $25 a month?
Sure.
That's so.
A lot of like phone companies and stuff do that shit. That's been a marketing technique in the phone space for a while, like mobile phones with their leasing plans and stuff. They're always
it's
pay this monthly. They don't even advertise the lump sum usually.
It's why I'm considering also getting a PlayStation at launch.
I mean, these leasing agreements are super appealing from a marketing perspective and just from an affordability perspective for people, right? It's way easier to come up with an incremental amount of money monthly than it is for a lump sum, especially to justify to your parents, right?
And the Series S also is Series S plus Game Pass Ultimate over the course of 2 years at that price is $60 cheaper than if you would have bought both of those things at full price. So you actually, it's not even interest free. It's like literally cheaper. You save, it's like a interest free plus a rebate, except you get it, right away. So we'll see. Still on the Xbox side of things, barring they do sign some exclusivity with a third party studio or something, I don't think there's a first party game at launch. They haven't talked about Hellblade 2.
We got to talk about how Halo isn't at launch. Like, why? Who's buying an Xbox Series S at launch? Like, what are you playing? What are you buying that shit for?
Well, I mean, you're me, right? You just want an upgrade on stuff,
Well, sure,
and it's
right.
super affordable, But it's $10 more. That's like a gluttonous Starbucks trip more a month.
Well, for you, right? But for like a kid, it's not.
No, but for the mom, and dad,
I don't know,
$25 a month or $300. That's doable.
But not if they're like, okay, and what games? And the kid's like, I don't know.
All the old ones, basically.
I mean, but then we get into the discussion, right? Like, why not just wait and play Halo Infinite on your current Xbox? Because you can. Why even get the new one?
Oh, I think it will probably run better.
In theory, yes, but we don't even know, right?
Yeah.
It's very uncertain. Like, it's crazy. You're totally right that neither of these launch lineups are. I mean, okay, I think there are people who Demon's Souls Remastered is enough for them to buy the PS5, right? Like, that game's crazy looking. That's a big launch title. What was the other PlayStation launch title you said?
Miles Morales.
Right. Those are two big launch titles, right? What do we have for Xbox now that there's no Halo?
There's
like
none,
I said,
right? We haven't heard about Hellblade 2.
But no one cares about that shit, right?
If Hellblade 1 was good, what are you talking about?
I'm not saying it was a bad game, but it's not hype.
It's a single player kind of an experience. So I would say that it was the first one was good. That was before they had first party Microsoft money behind them. So maybe you could argue the second one would raise the bar to some extent.
I'm not saying it won't be good, but
if you had Halo plus that might be cool, right? Like for a launch lineup for Xbox. But it's true. It's just like they haven't. The other thing is they haven't said anything about it, so I just wonder. I think Xbox still has more information. If you want me to be honest, I think there's still some more based off of the fact that when they leaked last week, the Series X and Series S stuff, they said they had more things to announce. And keep your eye. My guess is what it is that Xbox Live Gold is going away, and that the online multiplayer will be free on Xbox. And maybe in addition to that, they might show Hellblade 2. Like I said, maybe they do have something else, but right now it's like, I don't know.
Which is crazy. It's very interesting. And
I mean, to be fair, they put their eggs in the Halo basket.
They did, and that's another thing, right? Like, I might have a different opinion if Halo had looked better, right?
That it was good that it got delayed. You mean,
no, that the Xbox is worth buying.
No, yeah, man. That's why they if Halo came out and was like fire and was ready for the holidays, then okay, bang, we're booming now, but. It's just
even if Halo trailer looked really good and wasn't a launch title, but you just knew it was going to be good, that load could have been right. Like, the reason I bought a Switch was because I saw the Mario Odyssey trailer.
Yeah,
that trailer, true. That you knew that game was going to be unbelievable. Like, it was very obvious from the Mario Odyssey trailer that was going to be one of the best 3D Mario games ever released. It was not very obvious from that Halo Infinite demo that this is going to be the best Halo game ever released, right?
No, for sure. I will say that some of the things they announced at the Xbox conference that are future things looked interesting, but then there was no gameplay. It was all cinematic, so it's hard. It's impossible to gauge what the experiences really were. So yeah, I agree with you. It's Xbox it has been little by little trying to fix their first party situation, and they bought like 15 studios last year. So realistically, it's probably going to take a few years to kind of hit the ground running for for those studios to kind of all start pumping out content and stuff. But so we'll see maybe a few years from now if Microsoft's first party studio thing has gotten better.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
I think the fact that some PlayStation 5 games are still going to be playable on PlayStation 4 is an interesting about face on that policy. The PlayStation Collection Plus was a great thing. I think that if you were looking to get it, the $400 price point for PlayStation 5 is a good one.
Unexpected, honestly. Like, without the leaks, I don't think we would have thought 400. I don't think people expected 400.
One thing that's interesting, people are like, well, damn, they must be losing money on that digital, because $100 is a big thing, and I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're losing money on both, but even more on the digital. However, people are bringing up the good point that if it's an all digital console, you have to buy games through their digital store. People broke, like, you can't get it through retail.
You're eliminating used games and retail model overall, right?
And the retail margins are way shittier than the digital margins for them. So Daniel, I think his name is Daniel Ahmad. He's one of the prominent video game reporter on Twitter, said that PlayStation's set to make, Xbox, I'm sure the same. They make about 50% more on third-party games when they're bought digitally over retail, 30% more for first-party games, right? So that you can sell it at a loss, especially if you're selling the games at $70 now. You'll recoup that cost over time, especially again if you add PlayStation Collection Plus, another $5 thing option to sign on for content that's already made, right?
We're gonna have to have a whole nother podcast. I think we need to have that Gamer Money podcast, because I want to talk about selling games at $70. God.
Yep. We're going to have a following conversation. I do see right now in the chat live, they're saying, I don't believe the Series X or PS5 will support 4K 120 frames per second. If I said those numbers, I didn't mean it. I meant 4K. The only thing that Series X has confirmed to is that they can do 4K 60, not 120. Okay. So nobody has said they can do the 4K at 120. Everyone's calling out
that'd be pretty crazy, because on PC it's difficult to get 4K 120.
No, none of that. And mileage will vary depending on different games and how resource intensive they are. You're going to be able to get different performance on them.
Anyway,
but yes.
Where can people find us?
People can find us at koalaentertainment.com. There you can find a link to all our social media websites, presences, Instagram, Twitter, most of all, Discord. Come join our Discord. Yeah. Come play our idle game, where you can become a part of a corporation researching weird shit. Find out what that weird shit is, get more involved with that weird shit, and in the process, gain a chance to win some real world prizes. We do giveaways every 3 weeks. People win all the time. It's hype. Get in there if nothing else to check that out, and come hang with the community and the devs.
And so, if you stuck around this long through the podcast, I think you deserve a little something. So what I'm going to tell you is that the secret KO Koala game is moving along. It's going somewhere.
Yes, come join the Discord and follow us on Instagram to see some dev updates coming your way. Soon. So maybe soon, the first ever real information about our game.
Maybe.
And what's going on there.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Thanks for listening. Check out the YouTube. Listen to our podcasts.
Yeah, if you're listening to this, you can watch us and talk and interact with us live on Twitch every Monday. Usually it's 8:30. Mondays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes this week, like we said, we do special things and we delay it.
Check the Instagram for updates on if it's going to be different.
Yep.
All right.
Right on.
Thanks for listening.
Buenas noches.
Goodbye. Peace.
We'll see you.